If I were to say this to you, you have $7,000 of income inflation adjusted for the rest of your life if you decide to retire today. That's a pretty clean-cut statement. Most people would hear that and be able to say, yeah, that's enough, or no, that's not enough, I need more. Well, let me ask that same question in a different way. You have $750,000 in an investment portfolio. Is that enough to sustain you for the rest of your life if you retire? All of a sudden, we introduce confusion, uncertainty, second guessing. But here's the thing, at a deeper level, we may be saying the exact same thing. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin, and welcome back to the channel. The difference in how we interpret these questions has nothing to do with intelligence and everything to do with the way human beings process money. Mathematically, these two statements might represent the same economic reality, but psychologically, they're worlds apart, and that gap is where anxiety lives. Income feels predictable and usable. You likely know how to budget an income. You've likely been doing it for decades. And do something for decades, and you get pretty darn good at it. Your brain categorizes income as spendable. It's earned, it shows up, you use it, and it shows up again. A portfolio feels completely different. It kind of feels abstract, maybe a little bit vulnerable. It fluctuates every day, the balance is always visible, which makes it very easy for us to react to emotionally. And withdrawals don't feel like just using money. They might feel like damaging the portfolio. And even though income and a portfolio might represent the same economic reality, only one of them truly feels safe emotionally for most people. Now, let me flip the script for a moment. Let's say when you turn 18 or so, you're magically given a pot of money. And let's say it's about $2 million, since that's roughly in line with what the lifetime earnings are for someone with a bachelor's degree. That might feel incredible at first, but there's one rule. You never get to go earn another dollar. That $2 million has to cover everything for the rest of your life. A house, a handful of cars, childcare, healthcare, food, retirement, all of it. All of a sudden, that lump sum feels pretty different. How do you know it's safe? How do you make it last? Let's compare that to life. Expenses unfold over time. Life happens month after month, and you usually get a paycheck every other week. And that steady income turns a lifetime problem into something that feels manageable. And that's why income can feel calming, whereas portfolios might generate some anxiety, even if the math says they're the same thing. This explains why so many people say, I know the math says I'm fine, but I don't feel fine. What if I run out of money? What if the market crashes right after I retire? They're reacting to uncertainty that's framed in a way of assets rather than regularly reoccurring income. Now, I'm going to show you a set of tables, and I'm not going to walk through every single number. That's not really the point, and you can certainly hit pause at any moment you wish so you could take a further look at these tables if I go through them too quickly. But the goal of these tables is to show you how to translate a portfolio into income. And within these tables, you're going to see a wide variety of examples. You're going to see a single household where Social Security counts for $2,000 a month of income. You'll see a dual income household where Social Security brings in $4,000 a month. We're going to look at portfolios that range in size from $500,000, $750,000, all the way up to $1 million, and different withdrawal rates ranging from 3% all the way up to 6% of a portfolio's value. If we talk about a conservative 3% withdrawal rate and a dual income household with a $750,000 portfolio, we're looking at a household income of about $5,900 a month. Or let's consider a single income household using a more typical 4% withdrawal rate. With a $750,000 portfolio, we've got a monthly income of about $4,500. Let's jump to a 5% withdrawal rate and look at $1 million portfolio and go back to a dual income household. Now we're looking at about $8,200 a month as a reliable income coming in month after month. Or what about a 6% withdrawal rate? Looking at a $500,000 portfolio for a single individual, that would give $4,500 in monthly income. If we stick to that same withdrawal rate and go to a $1 million portfolio, we now have $7,000 in monthly income. And this is not about picking a perfect withdrawal rate. That is an entirely different conversation. There is no one perfect withdrawal rate. It depends on your retirement time horizon, your health span, and your spending needs. And it's likely that you won't stick to a single withdrawal rate throughout your entire retirement. It's likely that it will flex over time. What I hope to do with these tables is to give you a range where you could look at an income and say, yes, this level of income feels reasonable, sustainable, and emotionally safe for me. So instead of asking, is this portfolio enough, you would start asking, is this level of income enough? And there are some planning tools today that are now going the extra step, and they're taking total portfolio balances and translating that into monthly income. And this is incredibly powerful. This is a wonderful shift. But if the tools available to you don't do this, it's worth taking that extra step and doing it manually, because seeing it as a monthly income rather than one straight total balance can absolutely change how you think and how you feel in retirement. Now, a quick note about inflation, since this comes up in every video and every single comment section. So let's address it clearly. Safe withdrawal rates are defined as the withdrawal plus an annual inflation adjustment. So what you're looking at here in the tables is that starting withdrawal in year 1. Each year going forward, you would be allowed to add an inflation adjustment. Social Security that also gets an annual inflationary adjustment. So what you're looking at here is spending in real terms. It would be able to be inflation adjusted over time to help preserve purchasing power. Here's what the best behavioral research shows us. At the heart of all of this is a simple behavioral truth. We're just better at thinking in terms of income rather than lump sums. We know how to manage cash flow. We know how. If I were to say this to you, you have $7,000 of income inflation adjusted for the rest of your life if you decide to retire today. That's a pretty clean-cut statement.